about rights for women within Islam and men when it comes to divorce. Now, before I get started, I want to just briefly show you guys what
Ya, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jumpa lagi dengan saya Bara. Jadi sahabat-sahabat muslim, kita di postingan kali ini saya ingin coba mencajikan sebuah cuplikan video yang gak terlalu panjang ya, tentang adanya proses hijrah seorang wanita bule ini yang tadinya dia non-muslim mungkin jadi muslim. Seperti apa sih perjalanan hijrahnya dan juga tanggapan dia, ada sedikit tentang ayat-ayat Al-Quran. Yuk coba kita simak sama-sama ya. Saya juga belum nonton nih videonya, ya siapa tahu bermanfaat buat kita semua.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sabah al-khair. Good morning. I have had a brief coffee check-in and I kind of felt drawn to answer this, or at least start to answer this, because I do feel like it's definitely too much to squeeze into 3 minutes, but I'm gonna try my best. It's really hard to talk about like a lifelong reversion story in 3 minutes, but we're gonna 2 minutes and 30 seconds now. Okay. So I grew up Christian, wonderful Christian family. I'm not one of those people that have a bunch of religious trauma. I'm just not. Yes, I saw lots of things going on all over the world involved with Christianity, but, and I had a lot of things happen. I did, but it really wasn't anything to do with my family. My family did not cause me religious trauma whatsoever. Some of the community, some people outside of the community, etc. But to make it very clear, I did not revert to Islam because of my family, because of some crazy religious trauma. That wasn't it. Okay, I'm going to try and make this quick. So basically, I had to have been under 10 years old because we still lived at our farmhouse, and my mom was in school. She was taking college courses, and this is just as early as I can remember it starting, like my questioning things, right? And I remember she came home with a big stack of books, and I was a huge reader, and it was all college level books, or not college level, but books they were reading in college. So I started to read through them, and then I came across the Quran, and she was like, don't read that one. You can read any of the books I brought home from college, but you can't read that one because I just don't approve of it. I did. I definitely tried to read it. I went through all of her books, the ones that I was allowed to read, and then I was like, there's one more I'm gonna try. Long story short, I don't remember much. I really don't. All I remember is there were certain aspects of it that made me be like, there are other beliefs. This definitely isn't Christianity. This seems close. And so I remember being less than 10 years old. I was not even 10 years old yet. And coming up to my mom and being like, explain the Trinity, explain why we believe that this man is also a spirit and also God, but also died, but also reigns over us, and his sins are going to automatically, or our sins are going to be automatically erased if we believe in him because he died. But what about all of the things, and I remember trying to dive into this with her, and I was not even 10 years old yet, and she couldn't explain it to me. I remember going to church camp after church camp after church camp, and nobody could explain it to me. I went every single summer for months. Like, I went to 2 to 3 different church camps, and no one could ever explain it to me. They couldn't answer a lot of my questions. So me reverting to Islam and me starting to fall away from Christianity and realize it wasn't my religion started very early.
Biasa ya. Singkat, padat, dan jelas.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. What does Quran chapter 2, 191 through 193 say? I love this question. Let's get into it, shall we? Beep, 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 beep. Surah 2 out of Al-Quran, the cow, or Al-Baqarah. You're asking about ayat 191 through 193. It's a very popular one. It's a great one, actually. Here we're talking about rights for women within Islam and men when it comes to divorce. Now, before I get started, I want to just briefly show you guys what translation I purposely am using right now because I absolutely love and adore it, and I was going to share it anyways. This is the Holy Quran in today's English by Yahya Imrik. I personally absolutely love and adore this book. because the language and the verbiage used is so much more intentional, and it is such a great representation of the true meaning of what the Quran is saying in these ayats. I love it. Whenever you translate from Arabic to English, sometimes you can lose context, and sometimes they don't choose the best words to represent what it means. You don't have this problem with this book. Also, when it comes down to it, the revelations from the Quran all have tafsir. They all have context. They all have deep research that goes into what they mean and their purpose. Bismillah, let's get into it. Let's see what you're so curious about. It would be best for their husbands to reconcile with them in that case, if they were inclined to reconcile. Remember that women have rights just as men do in all fairness, though men have been given an edge over them. And Allah is powerful and wise. 191. A divorce pronouncement can only be revoked twice. After that, they must either reconcile one and for all and stay together lovingly, or they must end the relationship in a spirit of all fairness. 193. You men are not allowed to take back anything you gave to your wives unless both sides fear breaking the rules by Allah. All right, so 191 through 193. So I guess you're curious about probably 191, right? That's what most people try to tell us women, that if we come to Islam, we're going to be oppressed, right? That's what you're getting at? Bless your heart. Let's talk about it. Here's the tafsir for verse 190. Remember that women have rights just as men do in all fairness, though men have been given an edge over them. Tafsir. The edge that this verse refers to is the fact that men are obligated to care for women and thus have more responsibility. This translates into a few seemingly inequitable things at first, such as men who receive twice inheritance of a woman. However, this seeming advantage actually rebounds back upon them, for men are responsible to spend of their money on their family, while women are not obligated to do so. Further, men must pay a dowry to their brides and also support their elderly parents and all other disadvantaged relatives. When Allah specifies that men have obligations, responsibilities, edges over women, it's not referencing our rights to humanity, to fairness, to life, to meaning that we are equal in all aspects of equality. It's talking about equity. In Islam, my husband would receive significant more inheritance than, let's say, if he had a sister. Why? Because my husband is responsible to take the money that he receives and give it to his family and make sure that he is providing for his family. He is obligated to Allah for that. Whatever money that the woman receives, that is her money. She does with it what she wants. She does not have to do anything for a man or anyone else. So yeah, men have been given an edge. That edge is responsibility. It's additional obligations. It's to be uplifting and upholding women. That's what that edge is. So no, you cannot twist my religion. You cannot twist words of Al-Quran to make me fear my religion or feel less about who I am within my religion.
Menarik ya. Jadi di pembahasan kedua dia membahas tentang isi Al-Quran itu tentang keadilan dan ketidakadilan antara wanita dan pria, dan dia di situ jelaskan menurut perspektif dia, beliau ini mengatakan bahwa tidak bisa dikatakan bahwa ini tidak adil karena memang tugas dan tanggung jawabnya itu berbeda antara laki-laki dan wanita. Itulah makanya dia merasa bahwa lu, kalau kasar dia ngomong di bahasa kita ya, lu mau coba nakut-nakutin nih dengan ayat ini bahwa gue sebagai cewek harusnya ngelihat faktor ini. Enggak juga. Artinya dalam hal ini dia udah tahu apa yang seharusnya dan apa yang tidak seharusnya, dan di sini dia juga ngerti mana yang benar mana yang buruk, dan itu ada peruntukannya. Dan ayat di Al-Quran itu dia menjabarkannya secara detail, secara dan ditambah dengan argumentasi dia. Menarik sekali sih, sebagai seorang mualaf yang tadinya Kristiani, dia benar-benar kelihatan di sini, dia mempelajari sekali isi Al-Quran itu seperti apa. Makanya mungkin wanita muslim yang dari lahir pun belum tentu bisa punya argumentasi seperti itu. Ya kan, kadang kecenderungannya kan orang yang lahir dari agama Islam sejak lahir sampai sekarang jarang yang mau mengulik isi Al-Quran itu seperti apa. Tidak seperti beliau. Ya, tapi itulah tadi mungkin video ini bisa menjadi inspirasi buat kita yang memang sudah menjadi muslim sejak lahir. Semoga bermanfaat. Silahkan bagikan jika memang video ini bermanfaat. Dan terima kasih menonton. Sampai jumpa kembali di postingan berikutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.